check. Welcome back to Glowing Card Gaming. You're on the night shift with Adam. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your gamers are? It's September 9th, Tuesday, 2025. Tonight, some debunking of videos, a short update, and some more Hollow Knights. And now, your host, Adam. Hey everybody, I found a different background music, so I'm just trying something a little different, a little more upbeat. I like it. So far I like it. It's also royalty free and nice. So, this one's off of the Supreme Music channel. This one's called Deep House Live 2025. Of course, it's not really live, but I am, at least right now. Most people watching this probably going to watch it back, and it's going to be a recording. All right, as it is. So, I was going to give an update on my job situation, and I am, but I'm not going to give any details. My wife really wanted me to be cautious with this information, so what I will say is the company I work for was recently bought out. So around the first of the year, it's possible that I won't have a job. It's possible. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But between now and then, the plan is more streaming, brush up the resume, strengthen everything, kind of get out there, get ahead of everything. Relax, try not to stress too much about it, but definitely more streaming. Because, hey, I'd like to do this for a living, and hopefully with some support and, you know, sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, all the stuff that you guys do, especially subscribing and hit that notification so you know when I'm on. So subscribe and share it out so we can grow the channel. I really appreciate when you guys do that. Still at 92 subs on YouTube, so hoping to hit 100 by the end of the week. It's aggressive as a goal, but we're almost there. Only 8 more subscribers are needed. So make sure you're subscribing and following, doing all that stuff. I hope everything, you guys can hear me. I think I fixed the mic issues in the posting to Twitch. So we'll see what comes out on the other side. Actually, I can check Twitch right now, and I should, and I will. Oh, jeez, that's not my channel. This is my channel. That's not my channel. This is. Oh, there we go. Yep, it updated everything, so we're good. 38 followers on Twitch. The next goal is 40, but more importantly, 50. It is my understanding when you hit 50 followers on Twitch, you can get monetized, or you can start being a partner. Affiliate. I guess there's affiliate and a partner. So I think at 50 you hit affiliate, and maybe 100 you hit partner on Twitch. It's a little easier to do, so to speak, on Twitch. But yeah, be sure you're following on there. Get the channel grow and share it out. You know, we need to start rating other channels too. Let me know. More than happy to do that. Alright, that's the updates for now. Yeah, I'm not giving any specifics away on that stuff. So, just to say that it benefits you guys in that I'm going to try and stream more. So, TwitchCon Live? Oh, geez. I'm not going to do that. I mean, if I had a million followers on Twitch, I'd go to TwitchCon. Why not? So I'll make a deal with you guys. Those of you who are subscribed and follow and watch on Twitch, if I ever get big enough, and I get, let's say, I know it's hard to get a million followers on Twitch, but if I ever got to that point, definitely go to TwitchCons moving forward. So that's the goal. If you want to see me, you want to find me at TwitchCon, you want me to be there, subscribe. Alright, enough of that. So let me close the Twitch stream and do the screen capture so you can see the deep house. But really what I want to do is go to YouTube and go to What? Really? Where's the Mod Tricker one that's been coming up like every single time? Ooh, Altered Beast. That's cool. You know, I should watch the full clip of this. I saw part of this. I think that John Rich is dead on the money with this one on the end times. So maybe I'll do a reaction video to this one specifically, but not tonight. Tonight, I want to keep it chill with the news that just came out about my company. So, found footage. Here's I was going to look at the Mod Tricker, but they have a John Candy. I'll watch that. I Like Me, the official. That's from his speech in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. If you have not seen that movie, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, please go see it. I wish they would put out the original director's cut, which that would be more like the length of Blade Runner. It'd be like a 3-hour movie of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which would have a little bit of, 90-minute comedy in it as well, but a lot more seriousness. And it would have a lot more storyline to it. But I don't think we're ever going to see that, unfortunately. Here we go, Mod Tricker. Let's do another one of his videos, please. Let's just watch some of his stuff. It's bigger than we... I just watched that. It's bigger than we thought. Not a coincidence. Look at all these I watched. I watched a ton of this stuff. Alright. Here's one. Let's go ahead and stop the music. Drop the beat. Not normal. This is truly dark. This changes everything. I headed down this road and now I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to really watch this. What the heck? We'll go for it.
Yes, sir.
We're wasting time.
Tricker, back up in this thing, man. Today, I'll be reacting to some creepy TikToks that were hidden deep in the algorithm. Let's get it.
All right, what in the world are we looking at?
Again, if you don't know about Mod Tricker, please go watch some of his stuff and subscribe to him. I find this to be if you guys don't believe in any of this stuff, at least it's interesting to watch. So, There's that.
At here. Kim Kardashian laying down in a bed with a Tesla robot. Now you may think this is just some ordinary picture, but this might go way deep. Take a look at this article. Now look at the picture. It kind of looks like they're trying to recreate this. Now look at the date of this article from 2016. This article is saying that Dr. Pearson is predicting by 2025 women are going to start going to robots for their intimate needs. Now this isn't the first time Kim Kardashian has done this. She has multiple videos and pictures of her and this robot, holding hands, her sitting on its lap, the robot taking pictures and videos of her and them doing all kinds of activities together. Now, I don't know if she's getting paid to do this by Tesla or something, or if she's just trying to push an overall narrative.
She's probably getting paid to do this from Tesla, because, it's weird. And I know she's all about herself. She's about self. And she's about self-promotion and getting that perfect Instagram shot and promoting herself and making money off of her own likeness and image. And it's a little weird for the robot thing. I would think that, well, personally, I don't know if she's smart enough to take that angle. Maybe she is. I don't know. But I think she might have different guys fulfilling the robot need in there. But maybe if she's getting paid by Tesla, that would explain all of this.
And let's be real, she's one of the biggest influencers in the world, if not the biggest. So I feel like if she's posting this, it's got to be for a reason, and it's hard to believe that this is just for fun. AI and robots are becoming more and more part of our lives, and these companies obviously want human and robot interactions to be normalized, and whether they know it or not, Kim Kardashian is definitely a big factor in this becoming normalized.
I feel like this is conditioning us to get used to living side by side with robots, and Kim Kardashian is just pushing the agenda, but I almost feel bad.
See, I always think of the horror stories of the robot, robot uprising, stuff like that. Looks like the Rockies are not going to win their 41st today. Looks bad. Looks real bad. So I'll be doing more sports too in the future, but beyond that, I always think of, and why I wouldn't want to own a robot or get a robot, is that, you have certain, you tell the robot, hey, go to sleep during these hours. I don't want you anywhere except on the charger at this point. Whatever it is, right? But then you have those horror videos and actually stuff that's happened in real life where the robots just stop listening. They don't obey the command. They're more autonomous, and they act for themselves more than anything else. So then you'll be laying in bed, and all of a sudden you wake up and it's standing over you. It's watching you sleep. It may be studying you. It may be thinking. Who knows? Who knows what it's thinking inside there? But it is thinking all the time. So, that being said, I don't think I'd ever own one. Sorry. Just not going to happen. Unless, the only way I think I would do that is if, it was in a separate house somewhere or something like that, and when I needed it, I would just have it follow and clean and do whatever, and then it'd go back to the separate, not house, shed, or something like that, where it's kept inside of there. I would stronghold my house in that I would have the outside of the house built so that it could try to punch in the door or the wall or the window or whatever. It's not going to get in. Everything's going to be steel locked, reinforced against hundreds of thousands of pounds, and it's not going to get in. That's the only way I could trust it to do that. We should do full screen. Sorry. Let's go.
For this Tesla bot, because she might drive him crazy and have him malfunctioning like she did Kanye.
I could see that. What weird green gas that is, too.
Judging by the green color of the fire, I would say that this is either ammonia burning or one of the Ninja Turtles is lactose intolerant and just got done eating an extra cheese pizza.
I mean, we have...
So, I mean, if it is ammonia, first of all, it's a college campus. Pranks are played all the time. And they know chemistry, and they know different chemicals burn and all of that. So they could have orchestrated that so that green flames were shooting up out of there. And it's just a prank.
Our own human-animal chimeras already. You have a creature that's part human and part animal. A lot of this research is not necessarily being published because it's ethically controversial, and a lot of the people that are working on it don't necessarily want public blowback. This is being done especially here in California. We're not breeding a
I just thought of Full Metal Alchemist, of all things, and that chimera where the doctor turned his daughter and the dog into a chimera by combining them and making them one, and it was turned it into a monster. And I mean, the Full Metal couldn't even separate the two. It's just an extremely sad scene. If you ever watch it, you'll know, or have watched it, because it's been out for a long time. You know what I'm talking about.
Human with an animal to get something in the middle, we're actually creating an entity that has some body parts that are pig or sheep or whatever, and other body parts that are human. We have grown animals that are pretty close to having potentially viable human organs. Theoretically, could we develop an animal that had a much more human-like brain? It seems
all of this is creepy.
Human. What are we to make of this creature? Questions about the human soul. I think we're tinkering with systems that we barely understand, and I think the possibility of creating more human-like animals is a real one that cannot be dismissed. I'm not a vegetarian. I do eat pigs, but I don't believe it's just okay to do anything and everything I want to a pig before I slaughter it to make some bacon. The ethical treatment of animals is also an important consideration.
Let's be real. If we're just now finding out about these experiments, that means the science is probably far more advanced than we can even imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if they already have centaurs running around.
Well, I mean, I laugh at that, but realistically, biblically, what are they called? The Nephilim, where angels had relations with mankind, and produced giants, but those giants in turn went off and had relations with, well, each other and men, and and from that, supposedly all the mythical creatures out of mythology were created, like the centaur and harpies and I mean, you name it, anything, the sirens, leprechaun, like anything that is non-human that we've talked about, or people think it's imagination or lore. Sometimes that does come from somewhere. So mermaids too, all of those things could have possibly come from that. Now, whether you believe that or not, that's up to you.
It looks like all the way through the weekend, which is good news for skiers and so-so for drivers. Take a look right now. You can see the Bellingham Tower Cam showing that full moon that's out there. We had the eclipse earlier in the evening, last night I guess it is now, and it's called the worm moon this month because of the time of year the worms come out of the warming ground, apparently. And the weeds start to really pop up.
The news will show us UFO videos that can easily be faked, like the egg UFO video, and try to pass it off as real, but when they capture actual UFO evidence like this, they completely ignore it and then wonder why we think it's a psyop.
So I'm going to show you the new map of the United States of America, and you may not be able to see.
So I didn't know if that was a UFO. That seemed more like a meteor that was kind of streaking, that may have actually been fighting with the atmosphere and been turned away at the very end, because it did go up, but it looked like it was streaking across the whole way, and then right at the end went up. Like, to me, that seems more like a near miss than a meteor that's going to actually strike the Earth. One that just got turned away right at the end.
This very well. We have 50 states in the United States, but this is mega regions. Mega regions. Mega regions.
Judge Dredd, Mega City 1.
Mega, large, mega regions. These are the city-states. These are large cities that are being made larger. Now remember I told you that the gray area is the wildlands. That's going to be the area that no one will have access to. And you know, I haven't told you anything about myself. I was a legal witness, an expert witness in land use and land valuation for my government, for the State Department of Transportation. Expert witness, testified in court. And I found out about this because I saw that people were not being able to use their land. And I looked behind that and I found Agenda 21. This is true. Okay, the federal government of the United States is doing this, is in process of creating mega regions, which are essentially crossing national boundaries. This is Cascadia. It used to be a portion of Washington State, Oregon State, Idaho, and Vancouver area, British Columbia in Canada. The Southern California and Texas Triangle areas include part of Mexico. This breaks national boundaries, it breaks state boundaries, it breaks county boundaries. It's also a project of the Ford Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation. Regionalization and world government.
Well, I mean, one, I don't know how true this is. I actually don't think this is true, these mega regions. But I've heard and seen videos recently that the I think it's now 6 leftmost provinces or westernmost provinces of Canada are petitioning to become U.S. states, which, if that happened, the mega regions could actually take place and be a large city like that without even crossing a border, because it would all be United States at that point. So that could be a thing. I don't know. I don't know how things are going to go in Canada. And things are weird all over the world right now. So it's hard to say how anything will go currently. So it's a wait and see game. But I just don't buy this mega regions thing. It's not that they couldn't do that or it isn't being done. Well, part of it is it's not being done. Not that I've seen, and I've traveled quite a bit. I just don't think this is a real thing. Maybe, but you won't be allowed to use your. Well, who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do in the end here? But this seems a little just not realistic for what I'm seeing globally.
You use trade agreements to destroy boundaries, and you actually cannot make local law that breaks those treaties.
I feel like this goes hand in hand with the Smart City Initiative. They want to pack us into these small urban areas so they can better control and surveil us. But if they ever implement Agenda 21, then I'm moving to Turkmenistan.
It's illegal. It's a federal violation to be in possession of a moon rock, even the smallest.
That's been true since I was a kid. That the moon rocks are illegal to own or possess, mainly because they're so rare that they just don't want them out in the public. Now for the megacities, he said something about where they want to tighten the control and surveillance on us, and they produce these cities where they're like tiny smart cities where you'll live in a huge high-rise, but within that high-rise there'll be a mall and places of employment and all of that. So you'll never have a reason to leave your building. And if you do want to leave your building and walk around, you won't go more than 5 blocks from the building because everything that you'd want to do ever is contained within that area. And they want to make it really hard for you to travel from one city to the next. So when Modric was mentioning that, that's what he was talking about, and it does kind of feel along those same lines.
Article you are not allowed to have because you could put it under a microscope and maybe discover things about it. The fact is, Von Braun took an unusual holiday, 26 weeks before they went to the moon for the first time. You would think he would be practically sleeping at NASA 24/7 to make sure everything worked for the first launch to the moon. But he had enough leisure time left over to make a trip to Antarctica, which is known for having a lot of lunar meteorites. And he collected a bunch of those rocks, and those were submitted as coming from the moon. And some of them are just, false pieces of petrified wood that they assumed would never be opened. That's why it's a federal crime to be in possession of one, because you could prove that some of them are fake.
I don't even think they put that much effort into it. They probably went to Home Depot and bought a bag of black lava rocks and called it a day.
Y'all gonna learn today.
Uh-oh. We're gonna learn my favorite Chinese food. You're gonna learn today. Stop playing with me, son. Entertainment purposes only. Oh, I can't wait to see this one. But I do agree. I don't know if we faked going to the moon or what we found there, or if we did not bring rocks back and we faked that. But I do know the footage there. A lot of that footage, when you think about it logically, does not make sense. Like when you see the lunar module landing, and they have a camera attached to the module, and you see that coming down, landing, that's probably real footage. But the one of the lunar module leaving, it's like an outside shot of it. So I thought it was kind of funny. It's an outside shot of it facing the module, and then the module takes off and goes up into space. Well, who collected the footage? Who shot the footage? Who collected it? Everybody came back in the module. Why? Like some of that, it does not make sense. That the way they shot that, I'm like, who collected that? It makes no sense that this footage exists as real footage. And there's a lot of that type of things going on where, if you just think a little critically about it, and I'm sure people at the time were like, that's not real. Who actually took the footage? Why are we seeing the whole thing? But, and as a little kid, I would have been one of those people in the living room watching that with my parent. I'm not old enough to have done that. I'm old, but not that old. But to watch that live on TV, I would have been one of those kids going, who shot the footage? Why aren't they in the capsule? And then my parents would have, at that point, realized, oh, yeah, he's got a point. How's this footage real? How'd they get it back from the moon? I mean, it's in the camera. There wasn't anything you could just remotely, there wasn't any internet or Wi-Fi or anything back then, so how did they get that footage? So some of that footage is totally 100% fake. There is no real footage to it. Other parts of that, I think, are real footage. I think we did go to the moon. I mean, it'd be easy. It'll be easy to check to see if we actually went to the moon. We have telescopes that are powerful enough to look at the moon and see the flags that were planted and the footprints that reside on the moon. Go look through one of those telescopes and have them show you through the telescope. I bet you'll see it. I bet you'll see the flag planted. I bet you'll see some of that where the footage was. I bet you'll see the footprints. I bet they were there. Just some of that I think they did for dramatic license is what I think they did. Because it would make for better TV than what they could really realistically do at the time. So take that as you will. I've thought things out for a long time. That's one of those things I think I've kind of settled in that because I think that's the most realistic answer for everything I've seen regarding the footage of us going to the moon.
Why does it look like a rat? Look at the eyeball.
Come on, man.
Everything it is.
Actually, it doesn't look like a rat. It looks like a parrot. Look at the beak on that. It looks like a bird. And the eyeball and everything. I mean, it could be coincidence, but it does not look appetizing or leave a lot to the imagination.
You sure? I told you. Be careful.
What damn thing?
What was that? I told you guys, you better be careful what you eat out there.
I would have to get them shut down if I went in and ordered sweet and sour chicken and left out with sweet and sour Stuart Little.
Scientists just made one of the biggest discoveries ever, and people are losing their minds. So you've probably heard of hydrogel before, which, you know, if you used to play with Orbeez or anything like that, that's what it's made of. And there's many other things that it is used for. Now, we all know the pain of getting a cut, or especially a bad injury or wound. What they do is they plaster it up, they bandage it up, and it's going to take quite a long time to heal, right? Depending on how bad the cut actually is, it can take anywhere from a month, 2 months, even up to a year if it's really, really bad. But scientists at the University of Bayreuth in Germany have just made one of the craziest discoveries ever, and I'm not joking when I say this is literally groundbreaking. What they've done is develop a hydrogel so advanced that it is paper thin, and somehow it mimics human skin.
I don't even know why they're doing this, because they already have, like this, there's this purple stuff that they use airbrushes. So when you get a burn, and it's a really bad burn, what they'll do is they'll do, I think it's, I know this is painful and not the best, but they'll do kind of a skin graft where they'll clean up the burn as much as they can. Then they'll spray that purple, it's basically human skin cells, of maybe it's fetal cells. I'm not 100% sure of that. But they grow them in little tanks on the site. They have all the equipment, whatever doctors have this. Spray it on, and instead of taking the weeks for the burn to heal, it takes maybe 3 to 4 days. And when it does heal, it looks like normal. There's no burn, no scarring, nothing. I've seen several videos on that. I don't know why it's not more widely used for other things. So maybe they faked that, and this is more of a real solution, or maybe they won't make enough money off of the purple solution, so that this will be the replacement for that, just so they can make more money, even though it might not be as effective. Because it kind of seems like that's where this is heading, in that, you know, we have a more viable solution, a better solution, but it's not going to make a lot of money. But this other one works about 75% as well, but we're going to make a ton of money on that. So we're going to go with this. And that's how it works.
Yeah, in a number of ways, such as flexibility and also taking on its healing capabilities. So this tiny thin sleeve that will be put on instead of like a bandage will now be able to heal wounds 90% in 4 hours and fully within a whole day, which is absolutely game-changing for the world. And once this becomes mainstream, when they've done more testing, it's insane.
If they release these to the public, every bandage company is going bankrupt. So I can see Johnson & Johnson buying a patent and then shredding it before that happens.
Nothing to see right here. Yeah. Nothing at all. A plane just spontaneously combusted today in Denver, Colorado, at the Denver airport.
Like that. Oh, what happened?
It's on fire.
Weird. So I'm gonna pause. I don't know what happened. Wasn't there. Didn't see it. This is the first I'm hearing about it. But spontaneous combustion is rare, extremely rare. But it does happen. My guess for this is not spontaneous combustion. My guess is they were refueling or something. And maybe even hadn't even gotten to the refueling part, but had the cap off or something like that. And there was a spark that ignited the fuel, and this is the result. I don't think this is going to be actual spontaneous combustion. I think that's just sensationalism here.
And this did just happen to be coincidentally not related. It just happened to be a Boeing plane. Again, not really at all, just giving you the manufacturer of the plane. And also completely unrelated 1,000%. Did you know that a plane fell out of the sky in Texas earlier today? Yeah, the same Texas that had green fire and explosions happening underground yesterday. I really do wondering what could be happening to all planes in the air in 2025. This picture is purely for entertainment to get your attention. So what do y'all think about this? Do you intend on flying anywhere in 2025? I know it's been literally months, but I am sure that at some point soon they'll get it figured out, right?
I'm starting to feel like this increase in plane incidents is just a psyop to get us to not fly.
I already don't like flying, so I'm not going to.
Much more stable than Robert.
They're laughing now, but it looks like he just took a snapshot of her face and stored it in the AI database, so when he gets a better body, he's coming for his revenge.
By far, the most chilling experiments we have uncovered took place at this Gothic...
Yeah, I don't have a lot more to say about that. AI, and especially AI mixing with robots, it's not... Excuse me. It's not a sneeze. It's not a sneezing matter. I would agree it's not a laughing matter. And I think people are going to learn pretty dang quick. And robots do seem, especially when they're filled with AI, they seem to have emotions, and generally not the positive ones. Usually they get angry or sad, shut themselves off, become suicidal, angry, and have attacked humans. There have been, I think, maybe 1 or 2 cases ever where a drone or a robot has killed a person. So that stuff is happening. And even that small robot, that's why that woman, I know she was laughing and smiling on the outside, but she backed off. She knew that robot was angry, and it did start to look like it was just going to come after her, and it did look like it was shaking with rage. I wouldn't have been laughing at that.
A state called Ravens Crag, halfway up Mount Royal in Montreal. It houses the Allen Memorial Institute of Psychiatry of McGill University.
Is a psychic driving, so-called, type of therapy. He would give the patient intensive electric treatment in order to make the patient regress deeply, become forgetful, and then he would attempt to implant new ideas in the mind of the patient.
Now, to a layman, it would appear that Dr. Cameron was trying to take the slate and wipe it clean, the slate being the mind. In other words, brainwashing.
Exactly, that's a very good comparison.
Brainwashing.
Yes, to that.
The saddest part about this is that these patients probably came in with a minor mental illness, and after one session with Dr. Cameron, they were full-blown vegetables.
Chaos erupted mid-fight, possibly due to demon possession. So this man's name is Delange Augustin. He's 31 years old, and him and his sister were heading to Haiti to flee spiritual attacks. You're going to hear what this passenger said in a second, but Augustin was yelling, shaking, and stomping his feet before violently kicking a flight attendant in the chest, sending them flying across the aisle into a window. He then destroyed the seat in front of him before attempting to charge toward the cockpit. His sister later claimed he believed Satan's disciples had followed them onto the plane. What's really interesting is Augustine swallowed rosary beads thinking they would protect him, and passengers and the crew worked together to restrain him as the pilots made an emergency return to Savannah, Georgia.
He was talking about devils and possession, and it was like, you have to kind of see it to believe it. Destroyed this other man's seat. Like, he kicked it and punched it and just buckled the seat completely over. He just charged the front doors of the plane, like swinging wildly, the bun in her hair. He grabbed hold of her bun in her hair, and he grabbed hold of her pants and wouldn't let her go. So they tased him once, twice, 3 times. He still didn't let go. At that point, they had to cut the woman's hair to make him let go.
And was arrested while his sister sang what sounded like hymns.
They were possessed. That was a very, very, very disturbing scene. Like, I've seen a lot of...
Yeah, I could see why he's saying this dude is possessed. It seems like the guy is possessed, thinking the plane is possessed, or the people on the plane were possessed, or Satan worshippers or whatever. Just a lot to go through a lot of times when you fly.
Stuff in my life That was probably the most disturbing thing I've ever seen.
I know it looks like he just went crazy, but I believe that people can be possessed. So
he may have had a mental illness too. I have to throw that out there. Him and his sister might be mentally ill.
You never know. The person in front of him probably reclined his seat back too far and set off the demons.
Hey, Governor DeSantis.
Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer is a funny comedian. If you have not seen his comedy, go watch that. That he is hilarious. I fully recommend Jim Brewer. He's kind of changed his life around. If you watch his older stuff, he was kind of a stoner comedian, and now he still kind of has that look, like he burned himself off on a lot of weed earlier in his life, but he's kind of recovered, and a lot of his comedy is just really hilarious now. I highly recommend it.
Today, when I got up, St. Petersburg was clear blue sky, and I started watching all the planes spraying.
Oh, chemtrails. We're going to do chemtrails now. All
I
right.
know the FAA knows who's flying. I'm pretty sure the governor can figure out who's flying and spraying and creating these fake clouds in the sky. Look. I even got footage of that plane spraying. So, governor of Florida and Florida officials, what are we doing about this? And why don't you start explaining exactly what it is? Clear blue sky. Look at all the lines from the planes. I watched them all, and some of them stop spraying after a while and they restart. Can we have an explanation and a stopping of this, please?
When Brian from Half Baked is calling it out, you know it's bad.
You've heard the theories. The old railroads were not laid, but they were.
Okay, that was pretty good. I used to think that this is just what planes did when they flew, and it's kind of some of the exhaust mixed with some water vapor that just forms and falls off the train. We're taking the train to Hawaii. It forms on the outside of the plane and follows the plane along. And I've noticed this. I'm fairly old, and going way back to when I was 3 or 4, I remember waking up on clear summer mornings, and this would have been around, let's say, just 1980, and the planes were doing this. It was every plane always did it, and I never noticed that it would stop and restart. But if they, in mid-flight, shut off an engine or change engines or readjust power, I could see them gliding, just letting the plane glide for a short time. I think you can do that and be okay, which would turn off the engines and could possibly stop the trail, and then they kick it back into gear. I don't know what those chemtrails are or the vapors behind the planes. I couldn't tell you. I've seen videos where pilots have said, yeah, this is where we put the chemicals for the chemtrails in. I've seen other videos where it says there's no such thing. This is just the normal exhaust and things that come off the planes as they fly. Now, what Jim Brewer just said did make me think, because like if they're chemtrails, and why would they shut them off and restart them at certain points? But it could be the cloud seeding and stuff. But I don't know what to believe there. Personally, I just think this is normal air exhaust or what the planes normally do, because I've seen it my entire life.
Dug up. Look at this big old pile of dirt. I can't help but notice all the pickaxes and shovels for digging. A pickaxe isn't a very useful hammer. Wait a minute, is this tunnel still half buried? Katya, where's that rail track going? Now I'm no scientist, but why is the dirt?
All of this looks like AI, by the way. It doesn't look like actual mining photos. Maybe it is. But I'll tell you why they use pickaxes and not shovels. Because it's solid rock inside those mining caves. You're not trying to dig dirt away. You're actually trying to chip into the rock. And then generally what happens is you'll try and make a small hole with the pickaxe, and then enough that you'll fill what they call a drill bit. It's actually just like a rod that's kind of pointed at one end, and you'll take a sledgehammer and you'll drive that steel rod into the rock that you're trying to mine from. Then you'll pull that out and you'll stick a stick of dynamite in there. And you'll put a fuse on that long enough that you can get the heck out of there. Set it off, then go back in, pick up what you've just detonated, put that in the mine car, take it out and process it and see if you get any of what you're looking for. Coal, gold, silver, precious metals, whatever you're looking, diamonds, whatever it is. That's generally how that works. You're not moving dirt. You're moving rock. Solid granite in most cases. So for him to say that, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy absolutely has no clue whatsoever. I only know this stuff because I come from a mining family. Yeah, I don't want to get into it too much, but if I would have gone into mining, it would have skipped my uncle, but I would have been fifth, actually sixth. If my uncle had gotten into it, I'd be sixth. So prior to that, four other members, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, my great-great-great-grandfather were all miners. And this is what they did. This is just what they did. So this guy doesn't, I mean, when you're talking about shovels versus pickaxes, come on. Did you even look this stuff up, or you just started talking?
Still flush and level with the railroad ties. Okay, looks like this one is in construction, but where is this railroad going? Into the dirt? Wait a minute, train cars full of dirt?
Okay, something else I'm going to go over here. You don't need to pull the ore out. It's not like you're taking loads of maybe you are loading up loads of coal, and maybe that's what's going on, is they have the one track next to the other track, but you don't, when you bring that stuff out of the mine from processing, one of those tracks is shorter. You process it right there. You process it right next to the track. So they would bring the mine car out and then load it onto a cart or something like that, take it over to the processing, done. That cart goes back in the mine for the next load. You're not taking it very far. So a lot of his questions, again, you know, you kind of have to know the industry and stuff. I just don't think this guy knows what he's talking about.
And a big old mound of dirt along the sides of the tracks reminds me of all these old world buildings that were dug out of the ground. Entire cities under entire cities. You ever wonder, why are there tops of windows on the ground? Yeah, tops of windows on the ground. Makes you wonder how tall these buildings really were. I watched a gentleman's video on this topic, and he said that the old Western...
A lot of this looks like AI, by the way. See, and that's what the mine carts look like. He's coming out of the mine, and the processing is probably right behind the camera, right there. They're not going too far.
It was always about constructing the railroad, as if they were programming it into the minds of the people. Oh, I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. They just didn't tell you that working on the railroad was taking big old mounds of dirt and displacing it to reveal tracks beneath.
I know when building railroads, it requires a lot of grading of the landscape to get them as flat as possible, so maybe...
That makes no sense to me. It would be easier to build new railroads than to unearth old ones.
Yeah, that's where all the dirt came from, but some of those pictures look more like excavation projects, so he might be right.
Yep, we are all being surveilled right now, and if you see them in your backyard or near your home, it's a dire warning that even running at that point might be too late. People were terrified after a Utah mother went viral for her husband in...
That one with the little creature running behind, that, first of all, I think that's edited. I don't think that one's real. I find that one funny. Everything else looks like animals. Just, we don't know what kind of animals.
Son seeing something that turned them pale white, as it was something not from Earth, had sharp red stained teeth, and about 3 feet tall, climbing all over the backyard walls. And it was waiting for them to go to bed. Haunting footage shows the mother putting pennies and sports balls all over the yard to try to lure it in. And after just a few minutes, she seemingly saw the pennies stack themselves and the balls disappear.
So we came back from dinner, ball's gone. And this is what happened with the penny.
With even the neighbors leaving the eerie warning that violent duendes or paranormal gnomes have been spotted there, and they specifically watch us to take children. And since the mother had given them gifts, it's believed the duendes will take this as a welcoming to Earth, and they might not only be here to stay, but their first victim might be this family. The mother's TikTok has since then been completely deleted, and no one has heard from her since.
I was going to say that this story sounds completely made up, but if that was really the case, then why would they feel the need to delete her account?
I sense this.
Well, to make it more realistic. I mean, what would add more mystery to it than the removal of it?
Something that is very significant about the western part of the United States. The desert, the Grand Canyon, the rock formations, you think even like Devil's Tower, I think it's in, is that Wyoming?
Wyoming, yes.
Different rock formations. Like, there's different parts like Arizona, it looks like it's been like a nuclear blast, like more than a nuclear blast. Like, what did that, how did the rocks start to look like mushrooms?
And when you get up towards like northern Arizona, like on the way to Utah.
Some of that looks like AI, by the way. This is natural rock formations. I've seen this.
Utah, there's a bunch of like the structures like you're talking about. Like there's barren land, and then it almost looks like ancient towers, like towers or cities that were like.
Yeah, like if you look in, crazy thing about like the Grand Canyon is they have like the Temple of Isis, the Tower of Osiris. They have like another temple to Shiva, I think, in there, and it's like they just said some guy just named it that for a reason. Of course. But it kind of does look like there's an entrance to the temple to Isis. Like, what is?
What's really strange is that I've heard rumors that they found Egyptian sites of actual Egyptian. They're like caves now, but they were buildings and stuff. They say back in the day, but they were built in the Grand Canyon and stuff. Where did they come from? How'd they get there? And why are the names the way they are if they were just built, thousands of years ago? Very strange. I don't know how true any of that is. I've seen pictures, but I don't know how realistic any of that is.
That place, and then you find out it's off limits. Okay, so now you start to get suspicious. Like, all right, it's dangerous. It's like,
look, it's probably off limits. I mean, yes, it's probably dangerous, stuff like that, but there have been plenty of times where people have gone in, we'll open it up to the public, and they just completely destroy the area. So they might be preserving something there. I don't know. I'm just doing my best here.
Well, people go missing in national parks every day, all day, throughout the country.
Right.
So they're real worried they'll go missing in the Grand Canyon for some reason.
Well, did you know that North America has more cave entrances into whatever you want to call that, whether you want to call it Hollow Earth, Middle Earth, whatever. North America has more entrances than any other continent.
I'm starting to believe that the reason why they chose certain locations to be national parks wasn't to preserve the nature, it was to preserve the narrative.
Mandela effect.
It took me a long time to realize that this is an actual theory of the Middle Earth. Because I don't hear about it very often, even though I watch a lot of these videos. It's very rare I hear it. So it's like all of a sudden I realize, oh yeah, that is a thing. It took me a minute. But I don't know if I really believe that. There's a middle sun. I mean, there's a core of the earth and magma down there. And where does lava come from for volcanoes then? If it doesn't come from a molten core of the earth, I mean, some things make sense and some things don't. Just saying.
I just went down a rabbit hole so that you don't have to. I don't even know what to say about this one. This is a new one on me. Now, Looney Tunes is no stranger to the Mandela effect. But like I said, this was a new one on me, and Yosemite Sam. I have spent many a Saturday morning eating cereal and watching Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny go at it. And what is his catchphrase? What is his catchphrase? If you said, "What in tarnation?" You're wrong. What? What? There's
I don't remember him saying. I remember he said that a couple of times in one of the cartoons, but generally, I just remember being so mad and you long-eared digit, you know, or whatever. That's more of what I remember. I don't remember what in the tarnation being too widely used. I think he said it a couple of times, but
even campaigns with it, with carnation milk. What in tarnation? Wrong.
I don't remember that.
There's news articles about it. Where in tarnation? Does the word come from? Rot? Well, I don't know, but Yosemite Sam never said it. Now, I will admit, I am solidly in Gen X, and my memory, and it may not be as good as it once was, but I could swear he said, "Where in tarnation?"
Interesting.
Do you remember that? Do you remember him?
I do remember him saying it a couple times, but she's saying it's like his catchphrase, and I don't remember him saying it that often. I remember just a couple times when he's really angry, walking around in circles saying that.
Saying that? Let me know what you think in the comments below.
I definitely remember him saying, "What in tarnation?" I'm starting to question my own sanity. Let me know what you guys remember.
We are in control because basically we are not a political organization. We are an occult organization. We're working behind the scenes to manipulate the way that people think. The war that we are waging is a guerrilla war on the human mind, and we use musical frequencies.
So the real frightening thing is why. Why are they doing that?
The dominant frequency, which I've referred to before, and symbolism and imagery to awaken dormant aspects of the human mind. And what we're waging is a cultural war right now on every front, in music, in literature, utilizing the media against itself. And we're using music because that's the instrument that young people respond to right.
Couple things before he goes too much further, and I forget what I want to say. One, Lightbringer, who's Satan, or light bearer, I think as his. I don't think it's Satan. Lucifer. Lucifer means light bearer or Lightbringer. Was in charge of music in heaven, supposedly. And it seems pretty accurate because most of the mainstream music, secular music that you hear, have messages that are very sinful to them. So none of this surprises me, but the why they are doing it is it's a war on Christianity or on Christ and Christendom. That's why they're doing it, because everything that you're seeing opposes everything that the Bible says. So, but he doesn't tell you that. He doesn't say the why. And I find that very interesting.
Now, we're doing propaganda directly to awaken the wolf in man. Politics is merely the puppet show of human beings, and we transcend that. But we are interested in the control of human beings for our own purposes. We have no concern for the homeless, particularly. We don't have any concern in helping people.
This is coming straight from the horse's mouth. The top 40 Billboard songs right now is like
disagree.
Listening to MK Ultra's greatest hits.
My sister just sent me a picture of something that her home video camera picked up while they were away at a softball game.
Am I easily creeped out? Should I skip this one?
I need somebody to tell me what this thing is.
Oh, it's a demon.
It could be a hairless cat or some type of dog, but those legs look abnormally skinny to be natural.
On our planet, we have more.
Actually, he's right. There are some hairless cats that have skinny legs like that, that have real thick upper parts of their legs and then goes down to. But why would it be in her house? And does she have one? And if not, where'd it come from?
3,554 gates that you can travel from one point to another point in a few seconds. All these gates are on ley lines. They are the magnetic field lines from our planet. From these 3,454 gates, there was 12,000 years ago all open, but they have closed them in 3026 before Christ. They have closed all the gates.
So, Stargate SG-1 was a real series. It wasn't filmed on a backlot at Paramount.
And why they have closed the gates? It was the last days that the gods was staying on our planet and was going away. And when they was going away, they have closed all these gates. And all these gates today, they are under big temples like we know, like Giza, Angkor Wat, Stone Age, Avebury, and
said Stone Age, but he meant Stonehenge.
So on. Under these ancient temples are old accesses to these gates. So the last gates was open on our planet was the gates in Mexico. On different temples in Mexico, we have gates. There was no still open after 3026 BC.
How does he know all this? Where did he get that date, everything? This all seems made up. I'm sorry. I don't buy this one for a second. It seems like he's just telling us a story, and maybe there were a couple of facts here and there about it, and using some real places. But this just seems, I don't know, out there, not real, fake.
But on the moment when the reptilians have taken over our planet, the Violet Masters have closed the last gates what was open.
At least one of these gates have to still be open today.
Let me apologize. I realize now that I had my multi-stream up, but I didn't have the chat for multi-stream. I just had the Twitch one. So if you've been chatting and I haven't been seeing it, I do apologize. Should get it now.
If I happen to stumble across it, I'm diving head first through it.
Oh, mate, we have a piece of footage, from what I can gather, coming out of Brazil of a strange orb-like object floating in the sky, and this was filmed on an S23 Ultra. Look at the state of this object, bruv.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
what is
man.
that about, okay? When we're talking about potentially organic type UFOs that...
Okay. So I think there are some biblical angels that are actually described like this. So this could be an angel. Beyond that, I mean, D&D, if any of you play D&D, this could, I mean, it could be what they call a beholder with the main eye and several eye stalks, all of which shoot deadly rays, which do various things to you. Turn you to stone, just kill you outright, do a lot of damage, set you on fire, are acidic. There's a lot of stuff that happens that are no good with any of that. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know if this is doctored footage, if this is edited. No clue if this is real or fake.
Exists? What the is that? Right? This kind of looks similar to the thing that we saw in Kolkata, India.
Sorry, I just noticed something kind of strange. When he's moving the camera around, yeah, it kind of cuts off on the edge when the camera gets over there. But the weird thing is, sometimes it cuts off both edges, like almost like this is edited in. So I don't know if I buy that this isn't a real thing.
A little while ago from a distance, okay, but this is zoomed in of some strange activity. I mean, we've got some people saying...
And you see how it's fluctuating? Like the edit isn't quite done correctly, and it's fading in and out.
This is a hologram, or some people saying this is some sort of nest or some sort of rubbish in the sky, but this thing was floating for a while and then vanished off shortly after. a correlation that happens with a lot of sightings that we come across, okay? And again, making no sound. I do not know, mate. It kind of looks biblical in nature. If I'm going to say anything, it looks like a seraphim almost, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, but what the hell?
This one looks a little CGI, but if this is real and this is a seraphim, then that means something biblical is about to happen.
All new at 5,
all the things I said.
security camera footage.
Yeah, a Metro Atlanta mom says it actually shows her son's ghost. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston spoke with some paranormal investigators to see if it's real or if it's a hoax.
Here in Canton, Georgia, a group of paranormal investigators look into the supernatural. So it was only right that we asked them about what a mom says she saw in her security footage.
It's definitely unexplainable.
A Metro mom says her home security footage captured her son's ghost.
Definitely tell that in the photo there is a human figure.
On Facebook, Jennifer Hodge posted that she was watching TV with her daughter when an alert on her phone said your entryway camera saw someone.
Can you tell this is, I mean, it kind of looks that way, but the thing is, with that last one, it was high res, high definition. You could see it. It still looked fake. It looked almost edited in, but at least you could see it more clearly what you're trying to look at. This is kind of blurry in an image. Almost looks like somebody's sleepwalking in the middle of the night. You don't know who it is or what it is.
Here's what it showed.
No one's around at the time, and something gets captured.
Can we get a full screenshot of that? I mean, it's this tiny little screen in the news footage, in a screen on his screen, which you guys are probably seeing as even a smaller screen on my screen. Let's get some full screen stuff going on.
Hodge posted that the figure looks just like her son Robbie, who died in 2016.
How could you tell that? I could barely tell it looked human. You're picking out a face from this information? I don't know. I don't buy it.
We showed the pictures to paranormal investigators Heather Thompson and Stephanie Forte with Paranormal Georgia Investigations. They agree with Hodge.
Okay, now I'm understanding what she's talking about, but it was definitely a human figure. I mean, there wasn't anything questionable as to, okay, maybe that's a curtain that's billowing, or maybe that's, an appliance. That's definitely a human figure.
The two are part of a group that investigate homes and...
I'm not arguing that's a human figure. I can even accept that, but is it a ghostly figure, or is it just somebody walking around? Is it fake? I don't know.
Businesses of those who think they're dealing with the paranormal. They tell me security footage can be helpful, but to confirm an actual home visit would be necessary.
There's no question that this is a ghost. It looks like her son came back one last time to make himself a sandwich before he crossed over to the other side.
So I have no idea what's going on right now.
I love that. I love the idea. Oh, they have the perfect peanut butter and jelly. I need one more sandwich before I leave. Oh, that's hilarious.
All right, check this out. This is not... Ew.
What's in there? I see the infinity symbol. Where is this? What's on that plaque? The Island of Mist?
Raise travelers. We will soon push on for the Zava Java jungle on the back of the giant butterfly. Watch your step and prepare to see flora and fauna like nothing you've seen before.
Where is this?
Yeah, why do I keep running into stuff like this? What is this?
Open the door. Film it. This is an imaginary portal. This is definitely not an exit. Well, I don't care if it's an exit or not. Open the door.
Where was your mind? I got things to do. I can't be going in here in these imaginary portals. You let me know in the comments if I should come back here and open that door. So I'll be back here in 4 days.
He must have fell asleep at the airport and snuck his iPhone into his dream.
I don't know. If any of you know where that is or have seen that, I mean, let me know, because I'd almost go try and open that door and see where that goes, because that's so weird. I just think it's fake. I think it's like something that a time filler, time killer. It's kind of like Meow Wolf. I think that's kind of what that is. It's something they built in there. I don't know if that's an airport or what that is, but it's very strange. I wonder if the guy goes back there and it's completely gone, that would be weird.
This must be the final evolution of the iPad kid. He might as well be playing Roblox on the Jumbotron. But that was the video, guys.
Yeah. That was weird. The big TV, he's been like that for 6 hours. Sure, he's playing a game for 6 hours. In that, I've done that. I've done that very thing. Speaking of, let's get into Hollow Knight. How about that, guys? Let's try and do that. All right. And I know some guys, you guys probably came in to see Hollow Knight and came into this. So I apologize for that. I'm going to try and, cut the streams again, because I realized that's why I was doing it instead of doing one long stream. So in the future, more Hollow Knight. But for now, screen capture off. See you next time. Mod Tricka. All right. Let's get an open Hollow Knight and hook up the controller. So I hope those people that left will come back, and we'll get into it here, because that's what they're probably coming in to see. Oh, man. Now I got to remove the mouse, put in the controller. Moving forward, I'm going to try and split this. If you guys are not hearing, and I can continue to work on it, but my understanding currently is that I fixed it. So I knew that Indiana Jones was going to have a downloadable pack for DLC content. Teen Cherry. Can we go in? Let's go. Let's go. We're playing. Getting right into it. Welcome back to Hollow Knight, everyone. Thank you for being patient and sticking through Mod Tricka and some of that with me. Why is there no sound? Why am I getting no sound? You guys, it seems like you guys are doing that. What is happening right now? Let me try and show you. Bother. Okay, that was weird. I unplugged the control. Okay, this is the weirdest. I know you guys are hearing it, but as soon as I plug in the controller, I am not hearing it. So I unplugged the controller and I'm hearing the game. I plug it in and it's not there. Hold on. I'm gonna unplug the sound. We're gonna plug in the mouse. So I can figure out at least sound. This is the weirdest thing. All right. There we go. It's not 100, but it's okay. I can hear everything and see everything. Where am I? Oh yeah, I gotta go down. Up and get my body. Where'd you get that body from? I got it from my daddy. I got it from my daddy. All right. Did I lose all my body? No, I have extra body parts missing. Double body. Double able body. I don't know. Where am I going? We're gonna go up because there was a charm there too. Glad you guys are failure. I love sharing my failure. Good. That's where I'm gonna I was going up this way for some reason. everywhere, guys. Yeah, we're getting that body bag. They're just gonna grow up into bigger, more annoying versions of themselves. Actually, if you don't want to go from here, here, and here. I think actually this. Helps earn back some of that stuff. Yeah, cross and down. And we're going to that thing. Yep, and then this one. And I don't see any. Yeah, I had to practice my dash. What? Never practiced. That just takes me back there. I don't know that. This? Why is this here? Seems like it's... And then we have this guy. This is the blind guy. Is this the path of pain? Is this the... I had a comment on this. Oh, the cover. Hell rump blade. Yeah, it's beautiful. Ah! Ah! Well, this is where I don't last it. We're done trying that for now. Because we'll go get either the bench up there or the bench down here. We'll just walk down here. Probably gonna try to go after that. Why is this? I feel like this could have been a shortcut to this area. Oh wait. There's something that opens up here. Not up there, but down here. Yeah, it opens. Where this is. Let's try that. There you go. See you, buddy. Well, that was a nice little jump off to the side. Almost died while I was looking at the map. Let's go down there. I think I can... There you go. That's his mode. Choose remain with the old space. I don't like going back. We're not doing it. Hello? Hello? See, I don't think that guy likes it when you do that. But I got no say in that. Somebody who said that the elf and the nail. If you get all the way around. Where? Somebody said something about. Not to do that. Did I come here? I had that for sure. Dang it! I'm gonna die here. I am gonna die here. Oh no, I had it. Oh, damn it. Not. Oh. Alright, whatever. I think we got the bang. Right here. Right here. Excuse me. I'm gonna get my dead body. Trying to get to you. Trying to get to you, little bug. No way to avoid that ever? I'm learning. Ooh, so close on that one. So close. Nope, not close on that one. Turn on the dang lights. Hi, buddy. Oh, please don't leave me alone. You forgot about me. I knew you would. Everyone always forgets about me. Oh, your face. You're so.
Oh.
I'm
sorry I got lost. I don't know how I ended up here. You came here to rescue me. Greta, the girl that everyone just ignores. Sorry, when I look at your face, I just can't believe you came all the way down here to rescue me. I didn't think anybody. Sorry, thank you. I better go back to town. I better get home. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen after that. Oh, almost didn't make that jump. Didn't that get exciting? Now where? Huh?
Kika.
Alright. Oh, jeez. Up and down. Not yet. Nope, need more juice now. See what we get. That way. Good. We're gonna show. Not gonna be, but. I knew it! They can't heal. Better. Okay. Okay, now. What? Oh, that one. I wasn't even to the first one. There's 3 of them. I'll go get my body, and I'm not doing that. I don't even know what I'm going to get for that. Is that worth it? Like that's way too much. Let's do it. Let's do it. Get ready for the second. Keep trying to duck. One down. Oh. Jump, you idiot! Jump! What? What is happening with me? Jump! 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 Why are you jumping? I almost had it. Chat!
this.
Kind of stuck in this loop because I don't want to climb back up because I know it'd be easier if I beat them. Just wish the control were a little better because it feels like I wasn't jumping when I wanted to jump. That's even more frustrating. I've done that before. Let's go. Let's go. it better that time. Coming in. I get one in and then even money it. Yeah, very loose. Very loose. I did nothing. But I'm getting very good. Very good at finding Saw it. Best I'm gonna get. You know, last time I was in this camp right on the edge. I'm never gonna get back to the double with that. I was doing so well in there that one time, and then just body back when it's pointed. Not gonna have enough timing is all off. My timing not there like it was in the first second. Maybe I just don't love that. Okay, forget it. Everybody, thank you once again for joining me, Adam, on Going Card Gaming, debunking videos and Hollow Knight. Next time I will stop the stream and restart it and properly label, especially now that Twitch seems to be functioning again. So we're good. We're good with all of that. Yeah, I'll be on. I'm going to try to be on every day now until at least the first year. We'll see what happens. So be sure, if you haven't followed, like, subscribed, all of that, be sure to do that. And then hit that notification so you know when I'm on, so you can share the frustrating moments like now. All right, guys. Thank you once again, and have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow night. And until then,